All right, update. 31 Model A Sport Coupe, total hot rod build. Uh, yeah, this car's in excellent shape. A lot of people are probably cussing because I took it apart, but you know what? Maybe some bones out of this will help somebody get their classic Model A up and running. This stuff's up for sale. It's up for sale cheap. I got the motor and the trans sitting over there, and some bumpers and rear bumpers, and the tires are brand new. There's the spare. And I got the whole banjo rear end and that whole unit and the whole front steering unit and everything. The steering column's coming out too, so that's going to be up for sale also. Yeah, a reasonable offer and all that stuff, and whoever wants it can have it. But where we're at right now is the chassis is level, right to left, front to back, diagonal. It is level. And it is at 0 degrees, if you can see on my thingy there. Right there, 0. And it's the other side the same way. It's good. 0. 0 the other way too. So, I don't know, today or tomorrow I'll probably come out here and start popping this fucking cross member out of here. For that cross member. Now, I've been taking some measurements. When they say kit, they mean it kind of don't fit, but it kind of will if you adjust it a little bit. So that's where we're at on this. Those are the hidden instructions that are mind melded from the company to you, of course, when you're doing these front ends. Like right here on Helix's instructions, tells you, depending on what you have, 28 to 34, Chevy rear steer supplement, because I guess everybody's been having to cut the frame rails, and they bitched or something. I don't know anything about this front end. It's the first one I've done. But according to my calculations, because I'm so educated, here is the axle center line. Right there. It basically lines up with, almost just sits right next to the back of that bull hole for the horse collar. Or because I did find a blueprint of the frame layout, and it's 11 inches from the center of this bumper bolt back to the center line of the axle. And I verified that after I took all my measurements and laid the identifier down for the axle center line, and an 1/8 inch forward for caster, according to their instructions, 1/8 inch. Yeah. 1/8 inch axle center line, just so forth. Okay, now, and that's right where that line is. All right, just a little bit forward, the 1/8 inch forward is where the actual that center line has to be welded in. So this center line is right there. That's that one's center line. So that center line and that center line should line up. But it ain't wide enough. And it's got an angle on this because that frame rail gets wider as you go back. So my measurements say, right there, there's my measurements for the front of the frame and the rear of where the frame goes here and here, you know, here and here. So, and according to my measurements, it's a 1/4 inch in the front half has to come out, and in the back an 1/8 inch straight up and down, like right there. a 1/4 inch there, and then on both sides, and then an 1/8 in the back there, and an 1/8 in the back there. And that should slide right up into that location. Should, in a perfect world, and everything's honky-dory, and we don't have Biden for president, it'll work out great. But seeing as that a couple of those things are kind of screwed up, that probably won't fit too. Just kidding. But overall, not a bad front end from looking at it and assembling it and playing with the parts on it. Kind of the bushings and shit kind of feel a little, but they are poly. But that's where we're at on that. So, just a quick video. There's the old mounts that go into the side of the bell housing. Those may be beneficial in this build. I'm not sure yet. I think those would be worth keeping. You know, because they did give me a kit for the small block. It's the, you know, good old fashioned, just cheap ass boxing plates and, you know, just the basic weld-in motor mount. That's all you get with this. Do I want to use that, or do I want to use a drop member, or, yeah, I don't know. This is, now it's getting to be, play as you go, I guess. And I did buy a lot of stuff for this car, but a lot of the stuff I bought for this car was stuff that's pretty straightforward, you know, interior shit, steering column, crap like that. When you start getting into this fabrication, anybody that's ever done this will tell you, measure twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. I don't care, because you only got one frame, right? So, and those fabricators that are good enough can fix their frames where you'll never even know what happened. So, you know, if you did do something wrong. And it's important to have that kind of ability when you're doing this, because if you screw something up, just don't keep going forward. Stop, take it out, fix it, start over. Because when you go down the road, you want to go straight. So, that's where this is at. Like I said, today we finished taking the rest of the front end out, and we got the motor out and the pedals and all that and everything. So, not this weekend, but maybe by next weekend, it'll be sitting on the ground on all 4 wheels and tires, and we'll see how it's going to set. You know, because I have never done one of these front ends. And the reason why you keep seeing two cross members in this video is, like, I'm sure you've seen it in the other videos, but I'll mention it again. That cross member is my mock-up cross member, because those ears and those ears, and there was a couple other items that were just bent really bad. And I called them and I said, hey man, you know, this stuff's bent. And they says, no problem. They just sent me another one. And I asked them what to do with it, and they said, throw it away, cut it in half, put plants on it, whatever. So it's a good item for mocking something up. And, you know, and there's the one that's going in. That one showed up in pretty good shape. All right. But I'm going to redo all my measurements on this one just to see if they're cut the same. Because you got to think of that shit, because if you don't, you're going to be thinking, well, I'll just use them measurements because that's fine. Well, it may not be. If they cut that on a 60-degree day and they cut that on a 100-degree day, they're going to be different. Just telling you. And when you're playing with suspension, small, 1/8 inch, 16 inch, you know, that stuff makes a difference. So, just think of anything that could possibly affect how this car is going to handle or steer down the road and compensate for that, because once you get it in, it's too late, you know, so. But I'm also going to contact their tech department about cutting on it, just like even though their instructions say to cut on it. But just for my own personal knowledge, because I've never done one of these cars, be up front with everybody. Seen a lot of them, but you know, the only other car I built like this was a 35 Ford pickup. But now that's, I think, a different model altogether, because it's past 1932 or 33 or something, if I'm correct. But yeah, we're going to start setting a cross member here in a couple days, as soon as I get that ground out and get those slugs drilled and rivets. But till next time, this is where it's at. Yeah, and I have all the control rods and everything, you know, like I'm not going to use that fuel bowl and stuff, and you know. But there it is, and until next time, you might get some video as we go along in different steps of putting this all together. I'll see how I'm feeling about it, but so far the blueprint I got is exact to this frame. So even if my center line goes away, I know where it's at. It's on the blueprint. I can transfer it. But and I did double check the measurements, like I said before. It's right. It's right on the money. So till next time, happy fabricating.